garden friends. This morning, before it gets too hot, it's supposed to be 80 degrees today, I'm going to get this Quickfire Fab by Proven Winners hydrangea planted. I had a delphinium here, and I took some cuttings from it and I dug it up to divide it, and the rest of it that I hadn't taken cuttings from was toast. It looked like it had been eaten by gophers. So that got taken out. I will put another one right here in front of the Quickfire Fab, because by the time this gets filled in the summer, the delphiniums will have been cut back. So early spring color with the delphinium, later summer color with the Quickfire Fab. Now I went with the Quickfire Fab Hydrangea because it blooms sooner than the others, and I have a short growing season, so I wanted flowers sooner rather than later. So this one I think was introduced last year, and I'm anxious to see how it does in this spot. I will treat this area for gophers so that I don't have to worry about them eating my fabulous little hydrangea. Anyways, I have the hole dug, and I don't put anything in it other than some growth stimulant liquid, but because you want the roots to reach out. You don't want them to stay right there. If you put all the goodness right there, like fertilizer, etc., the roots have a tendency to stay in that spot, and that's not what you want. Ideally, you want them to go and find the nutrients. Let's see what this looks like. Does this need to be teased apart? No, look at these, even this root's coming straight down. So this one is not root bound whatsoever, and I'm just sticking it in the hole. I'm wondering if it's too far back. I think it's good. I think I could prune anything that's in the back, so it doesn't. And I will probably, because these get really big, wide, like 5 feet, what have you, I will probably prune it up into a tree shape so that you'll have all the flowers on top, but you'll be able to have, plants down at the base. So I will go get my root stimulant to pour on here before I put the dirt back in. So I went and mixed up some of the root stimulant, and I'm just going to pour a little bit in around the plant before I put the soil back in. And then now I'm just going to scoot. I don't know what I put in there. Maybe a quart of it, just to give it a little boost. And now I'm just going to bring the soil back in around where I dug it out, and then I just firm it in with my foot. Make sure you get the soil filled in all the way around, and then I'll bring the hose over here and give it a good soak to make sure that the air bubbles and stuff are all out. So let me go do that. I'm going to get the hose drug over here, and I'll get a bucket of compost. I'm going to go get the hose drug over here and get a bucket of compost to top it, to mulch it with. And the compost can slowly feed it when it needs it. So let me go get the hose, and I will be right back. Okay, we'll just water this in well. Got something coming up right here. I don't remember what I planted there. Note. Take notes and write down what you plant. So I have my garden journal now that I can print off pages, etc. So I can keep track of things I did, because you know what? When I do something in the fall, I don't always remember by the next spring. And I don't know if that's because I'm getting older or if I just have so much on my plate that I forget things. So, okay, that has been watered in. And I'm pretty sure the air pockets are filled in. And now I'm going to mulch it with, let me see, I got the bucket right behind me. I'm trying to be careful. I got a lot of stuff planted in here, and I'm trying not to smoosh it. And this is just the compost I buy in bulk. It comes from a local organic turkey farm. And we go pick it up by the pickup load because it's just less expensive that way. And then I'll go ahead and water that in. I don't want to bury the crown of the plant, so I'm just making sure that that is visible where the soil line was in the pot. There we go. And that is that. Now I am going to go get the cutting, one of the cuttings I took from the delphinium, and I think I'm going to put it right here where it's a little bit forward, or maybe right here, a little bit forward of that plant, and it can grow too. Or I may not, I don't know. Let me think about what I want to do. I have irises here that will come up soon. They will be blooming probably next month. And then I have oriental poppy that I grew from seed. I got those from a dollar store, the seeds, and I've sown them. I winter sowed them in a milk jug, and I swear every one of them germinated. I had masses. So I have different ones around. All of them so far that have bloomed have been orange. I wanted white or pink, but I'll take orange. So, and these are some climbing roses that I've got on this arbor, and they're in pots because the gophers were eating them. I don't know if the gophers will eat the hydrangea, but like I said, I'm going to treat that area. So there's that garden chore done. I just wanted to quickly share an update on my hydrangea. A few weeks later, it looks a little sad, but it's recovering. We had, after the 80-degree temperatures, we had a dramatic drop in temperatures. It went down to where it was 20 degrees at night. We had snow. We had all kinds of brutal weather, and it is showing the effects of that. But let's look down further, and you'll see new little buds right here coming. So I'm going to cut this all back and let it recover from that shock. Now, where I purchased it from has much warmer temperatures, so it really did a number on this. But also my other hydrangeas that are the panicle hydrangeas also took a beating. And let's go take a look at a couple of those. I was going to show you first this one down here. If Reuben gets his tail out of the way. This one is Strawberry Sundae. And that one I do believe is by First Editions. And it is a pretty real pink and white, like as the name would suggest. But it doesn't bloom till later. That's why, as I said before, I wanted the Quickfire Fab because it blooms a lot sooner than many of the others. Now I have Limelight Prime and Limelight out in front, and let's go take a look at those. Okay, here is my Limelight Prime, and as you can see, it also really took a hit. But it has some green coming back, and even down at the base. So even after that freeze, it is coming back as well. We move up here, you can see this much taller one. That is Zinfandel. That's a Proven Winners as well. And it came through a little bit better. I don't know if it's just because it's used to the weather here. It's been here 3 years, I think. So it could very well have just been fine because of that. But you see it did get scorched. The leaves did a little bit around the edges. I still need to cut off some of the canes or stems because look, this one got busted in that late snow we had, and we still could get more snow. So I'm just kind of waiting before I actually give it the final prune. I had cut it back already a little bit because we were having such warm weather, and taking out the spindly canes prevents it from breaking dramatically as well, helps. I'm going to point you down here. This is where I have the regular Limelight right down there. And it was newly planted, not last fall, but the fall before. And it seems, I don't know if it's because the spot may be a little bit protected or what, but it seems like it fared pretty well through there. And behind it, you see that is the black lace elderberry. And I'm going to try to trim that up into a tree form. I have these two large shrubs close together, and I was going to dig out the black lace elderberry and relocate it, but I thought, well, if I prune it up into more of a tree form, then maybe both of them could stay close together in there. But that is the update on how all my panicle hydrangeas fared, or pretty much all of them. My bobos are up against the house and they had a pretty hard prune, so they did a-okay. But that is how they all did, and I'm hoping that my new Quickfire Fab will get going as beautiful as this infant doll has really quick. I hope to see you in the next video.